Hello, and welcome to another exciting Nceptive Entertainment studio session. I'm your host, Greg Hayes, and tonight I'm excited to have here in the Access Framingham studio someone who's not only a dynamic vocalist, but is also a great entertainer. Her name is Sympli Whitney. And for those of you who have not had a chance to see her perform, you're in for a great treat tonight. Sympli, welcome to the Nceptive Entertainment studio session.
Thank
How you doing tonight?
I'm all right. Thank you, Greg.
You're looking great.
Well, thank you.
I love that red outfit.
I appreciate it.
So Sympli, let's take a little bit of time and talk about how you got into music and what you're getting ready to do. So start off with where it all began.
Where it all began? Well, I'd be remiss to not mention the fact that I've been singing since 3 in church. And that's kind of where it all began. Got my feet wet at Greater Framingham Community Church right here in Framingham and kind of paved the way for the confidence to get in front of people and perform. So I started there and went through high school singing, college singing, and the Army singing in South Korea.
Wow.
And so now I've landed home, and I hope to bring the entertainment and the excitement of singing and my gift to you all.
Great, great, great. Well, I've seen you performing, so you definitely are doing that. So let's go back to the beginning again. So you started in church when you were 3. Were you a part of the choir, or did you just get up every now and then and they invited you up? Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, at 3 years old, I'm not, if I can remember, well, I don't remember being in a choir, for instance, but I'm sure they had kids choirs and such, and growing up with other female artists that were in the church at the time and doing their own thing now. We just kind of got up and did our thing, and as we matured into teenagers and young adults, we joined choirs and did solos and did gospel groups around town.
Great, great, great. And then from there to high school?
Into high school,
Now,
classical
where'd
music.
you go to high school?
Whitensville Christian High School in Whitensville, Massachusetts, folks.
Okay.
And there I studied classical music, more technical stuff, breathing, how to stand, how to drop your jaw, those things. So
Good.
And then on to college, the amazing Anderson University, Indiana Gospel Choir.
Okay.
Really, really broke me out of my shell, and I joined a band in Anderson, a funk band.
Okay.
Big Bang Theory.
Okay.
And we had the opportunity to perform with George Clinton
Wow.
in Muncie, Indiana.
Indiana.
That's right.
Okay.
So that was high school, college.
Great.
So
And then after that, you came out and began to.
after that, you'll be meeting the drummer a little later, but O.C. Brathwaite and I were part of a band called Nemesis out of Boston. And that was at least 7 years ago at this point. I can't remember, but at that time I was introduced to the Boston local scene through Slade's Bar and Grill, Daryl's Corner Bar and Kitchen, Sonny Walker's, and really, really hit it off. The excitement that Boston brings to music is amazing, and they've opened their arms to me, and so I'm very, very lucky. Very lucky.
Surrounded by all the Berkeley and the New England Conservatory.
Absolutely, and just geniuses, really.
That come into Boston.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Now, I think the first time I saw you perform was probably about a year ago, almost a year ago, down at Faux de Cow.
That's right.
In Framingham, where
That's
we
right.
book you. And that was a great, great night.
Yeah, it was.
There's been several great nights there, as well as the one in Worcester, too. So now you told me that you're working on a special project.
I am.
That's about to happen here in Framingham.
Yes, it's called the Homecoming series. Basically, the last few years, I've really developed a fan base in Boston and have not brought that energy to Framingham and the Metro West area. So through Faux de Cow and Angry Hams and ultimately Nceptive Entertainment, you've allowed me to bring that talent of the band and myself to Framingham and the Metro West area to really develop a fan base in my hometown, which is so important. So important. I would love to be on the community fields. I'm not sure how they say it, the Framingham Center, when they have the
Concerts on the Green.
Concerts on the green. That's right. That's right. I would love to bring it there, and I think that as you watch the program tonight, it's going to be eye-opening. A lot of people who have seen me since I was 3 live out here, and so I think they will be very very happy to see where I've come.
Well, hopefully this should be a good vehicle for getting some exposure.
Truly hope
So
so.
those of you folks that out there that do the booking for the concert on the Green, definitely hook her up.
Yes, please.
So now you mentioned something to me about you're going to be doing something at Amazing Things.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Thank you for reminding
Yeah,
me.
that's
In June, we have a tribute to Nina Simone coming to Amazing Things Art Center.
okay.
Valerie Stevens is a dynamic spoken word blues actress, artist who has led the way in tribute to Nina Simone. We will be doing For Women, which is one of her most powerful productions.
Okay.
Excuse me, one of Nina's most powerful productions, just to be clear. And Valerie is a true vehicle towards awareness and bringing the fever that Nina Simone spread at the time back just for a little while so people can taste real music. And what's interesting about Nina Simone is that the music she was playing at the time was jazz. And jazz really spoke to the African American community. It is our classical music. And so having performed with Valerie and kind of sensed and felt that awakening, I'm extremely, extremely pleased to bring it out to Framingham. And I feel that people will really, really like it.
Now, what was the date on that?
June 20th.
June 20th.
That's correct.
Okay.
And you can find me at simplywhitney.com and look at the different dates that I have as well.
Okay. You also talked a little bit about some of the music that you're writing now and you're doing now. But what were some of the early vocalists, female vocalists, male vocalists that inspired you?
Funny story. Anita Baker was actually a huge influence on me. And my father actually stated years and years
Who's in the
ago.
audience, I believe, with
He
us
is,
tonight.
my dad. Years and years ago, my father said that Anita Baker was, a beautiful woman. She could sing, and he really liked her music. And for whatever reason, it just stuck. My dad was saying someone else besides my mother was beautiful. Probably is the reason. I was younger, and and it really took me. And I loved music. Both of my parents were in doo-wop bands back in the '60s. My mom was on the Apollo Theater stage, and then I graced the stage in 2013. It just clicked. So Anita Baker, and absolutely, positively, Michael Jackson. He is tattooed on my body. I love Michael Jackson. All different colors, all noses, all shapes of hair. I love Michael. Till death do us part. In
Oh yeah, he influenced a lot of folks. Now, any other artists or vocalists that?
I probably could sit on your show for about 30 minutes and name all the artists that I do like. Whitney Houston, obviously. I was not named after Whitney. Whitney came after I was born and named. So let's not even go there. But Whitney Houston was huge. And then as I got older, I appreciate Toni Braxton a lot for her soul and her story. And so those are the influences. And as far as another male vocalist, Luther Vandross.
Okay. Yeah. You mentioned Toni Braxton, and just before I got exposed to her music, I was doing a lot of traveling, and I had just gotten turned on to, I can't think of her name right now, Shantae Moore.
Oh, yes.
And I was driving and listening to that CD, her first CD, over and over again. And then somewhere in that same time period, I heard Toni Braxton, so I got turned on to both of those artists around the same time, as well as, what's his name, Maxwell.
Oh, boy.
All three of those artists came into my life sort of in
At
the same period of
time.
time.
Oh, wow.
And it was great driving music.
Yes,
Great
they
driving
are.
music.
Yeah, Maxwell's huge. Jill Scott's huge. Erykah Badu just amazes me. She amazes me.
Yeah.
How free she is in her music amazes me. And actually, I went to Erykah Badu's concert, and Janelle Monáe,
Okay, yep.
she performed and opened for Erykah. Fell in love with her instantly. She stood on a stool about as tall as you, Greg. It looked that way anyway. And sang a song and didn't move the entire time, obviously, because she would fall. But she sang it so perfectly. I'm like, all the way up there,
Wow.
So I fell in love with her as well. Her energy is amazing.
Okay. So now what are you doing now? What's the albums? You've got a couple of CDs coming out. Tell us a little bit about What's happening with those?
Rise of the Phoenix is my freshman album.
Okay.
Came out January 19th, 2016. Took about a year and a half to produce at 12 Note Studio Productions in Boston, Roxbury. And myself, along with Craig Eliezer and Felix Wangji, I always say that wrong.
Okay.
Sorry, Felix. We produced and engineered it all together. I wrote about 7 songs on the CD. It's 15 songs total.
Wow.
And it's doing very, very well overseas in Europe. New York is actually just hearing about it through my promoter out in Europe and the UK. So I think that it's going to be a very powerful CD for Simply Whitney in the first few months or so, 6 to 8, and then I'm working on another project with a producer and engineer out of France, and that's more dance, disco, and I have a calling to that too. Donna Summers, of course, Bad Girls makes you dance, right? So that type of music is different for me, but it's still a love of mine, so we started production on a couple songs there.
Okay.
Hip-hop artists have actually been reaching out to me as well. There's one in Miami for IVS Entertainment who started in Framingham.
Okay.
He's moved to Miami, and about 13 years ago, we recorded together, and he sent me something new. I'm excited about that.
Now, what's his name?
His name is Mooka Smith.
Mooka Smith.
Mooka.
Okay.
Yes.
That's great.
So-
Now, who are we going to hear tonight with you? Who do you have as your...
I have, again, as I mentioned, O.C. Brathwaite
Okay.
on drums. He travels a lot with Willie Law's blues band. He just recently graced Russia's stages, so he is an amazing drummer. I have Rollins Ross on keys. A lot of people in Framingham know Rollins, and he has an extensive history in music, one that I do not care to comment on because I'm a bit jealous. I see you, Rollins. And Joe Jam, Summerall on bass, Wayne Jones on guitar, and they bring elements to the band that are amazing. You will hear it.
Okay.
It's going to shock you.
Yeah. I know all of them. OC, I actually first saw OC with a band called Jah Spirit.
That's right.
A reggae band.
That's right.
So, and then I saw him with you. I was like, oh, I know you.
OC's
and Rollins I've known for
nationwide.
years. Oh yeah. That's good. That's good. Well, I'm looking forward to the show. Anything you want to say to the fans out there or the folks out here in Framingham?
I do.
Welcome back the what do they call it? The prodigal daughter.
Prodigal daughter. Well, Framingham, I really hope you enjoy the show tonight. I'm honored to be here, privileged to attend your studio, Greg. Thank you. And I hope that you enjoy it. We have shows coming up. So again, please go to simplywhitney.com. I don't remember all the dates, but I do know I'm in Metro West now. So please come out and join us. Shake a tail feather, get a drink. Not too much, get a drink.
Drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly. And look for the June 20th arts, what is it?
It's Amazing
Arts Center, excuse me.
Amazing Things
Amazing Things
in
Art
Framingham.
Center in Framingham. Look for that because if you're a Nina Simone fan or if you just love jazz, you will really enjoy this show. Come on out.
Good. I want to take a few seconds to say thanks to folks here at Access Framingham TV for helping us out with the production. But I tell you folks, as I told you earlier, you're in for a great show, so sit back and relax and enjoy the music. Simply thank you for being here.
Thank you, Greg.
And I hope to see you as much as I can. Thanks.
Thank you.
Good.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
Once again, this is Greg Hayes coming to you from the Access Framingham Studios in Framingham Center, and I'm so pleased to bring to the stage Miss Simply Whitney.
Thank you, Greg. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in tonight. I want to thank Greg and his crew for having us in Nceptive Entertainment. We have a great lineup tonight, so we're just going to dive right in. Gentlemen, if you don't mind, Rollins Ross, Joe Jam, O.C., Brathwaite, Wayne Jones. Let's do this.
and recall the days, smiles on our face. Our love stood the test of time, and boy, you blew my mind. Sweet nights, dim lights, our love was just so curious, wrapped in your arms, luxurious. Remember when you said, hello, 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 hello. You said, hello, 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 babe. Ooh, hello, 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 love. Your style, the way you are, I can't control myself, yeah. The sexy way you talk, baby, I love no one else, baby. The way you move me, groove me, I love it when you say, baby, hello, you, yeah, yeah. You're on my mind. Hello, hello, yeah, yeah, hello, love. The sexy way you talk, I love no one else. The way you walk, baby, I can't control myself, baby. The way you move me, groove me, I love it when you say, the best, baby. So close together, two souls embrace in the heat of the night. Soft, warm and tender, hearts locked together till the morning light. In my heart, I know you care. In my mind, it's never fear. You should know that I am here with nothing but the best for you. In my heart, I know you care. In my mind, it's never fear. And you should know that I am here with nothing but the best for you. Oh, yeah, baby. Time is the essence. Let's take it slow and make each moment last. The consequences. Gaze at each other through a full wine glass. In my heart, I know you care. In my mind, it's never fear. You should know that I am here with nothing but the best for you. In my heart, I know you care. In my mind, it's never fear. And you should know that I am here with nothing but the best for you. Oh, yeah. So sexy the way you look, you gon' get it like ecstasy all night. Oh, baby, sexy, feel the strong, get it right all night long night. Oh, swept away, swept away, swept
Yeah, thank you so much. Once again, let's hear it for Sympli Whitney and her fabulous band. Thank you
Thank
so
you,
much,
Greg.
darling. Good job, good job, good job.
to the top, to the top.